What's going on, guys? It's Mr. DEBT, Joe Lorick from the Money Etiquette Group. I want to talk really quickly about something I've been discussing with a few people offline, and I want to see your thoughts or hear your thoughts on it, okay? I've been dealing with a lot of small business owners, a lot of people in the black community that's trying to start up businesses, and one of the major barriers between success and not is the ability to raise funds, investment funds in the beginning. Oftentimes I hear people, man, I just haven't been able to raise money, and then some have been able to do it, but the majority haven't been able to raise the funds that they feel they need. Now, me being a person that deals with people on a money management level, that deals with people who have funds, especially older people who have hundreds of thousands in their 401k's and have been contributing to investment accounts for years, it brings me to question, and this is within the black community, okay? This is within my community. I'm going to say that, okay? Let me just say that this is within my community. It brings me to question why so many people choose to invest in the stock market and 401k's versus in younger people who are trying to start off a business. Because debt kills businesses. Let me tell you, when they say between the first 3 to 5 years, most businesses fail, a lot of them fail because of debt, because they don't have investment partners. They have lending partners who will lend them some money at interest, but so much of their startup costs goes back into paying back loans that it doesn't help them and they fail. But what I start thinking about is, okay, if you have $500,000 in your 401k, okay, let's just say you're an older person, over 60, you've saved up, you have $600,000, $800,000 in your 401k. I often ask them, okay, in a bad day in the market, a few bad days, you might lose $15,000 to $20,000 in a matter of moments. Does that drive you crazy? Most of them will tell me no. I mean, it's $14,000 to $15,000. I mean, I still have enough to live off of. I'm still on the same pace. So I'm like, okay, well, $15,000 doesn't mean that much to you when it comes to your 401k and your investments at this point, or $20,000. So then I'll ask them, well, why haven't you spent that or invested that into a business, not a part of a business through the stock market, but maybe a startup business where you can get some equity, where maybe you can get 10%, 20%. You'd be surprised how much equity people are willing to give up for their business. And I'm wondering from them, like, what's happening? This is an age where I know a lot of people are starting businesses. People are really stepping away from the workforce and trying to build something, especially in the black community. So I'm wondering, are you just not getting enough people asking you, or have you never thought to do that? And the majority say it's a little bit of both, but most of them say, I've never really thought that putting $10,000 to $15,000 into someone's business will really help them be successful. But the funny thing is that $10,000 to $15,000 based on studies could be the difference between lasting 3 to 5 years and going beyond that, because you have so much less debt to worry about. Excuse me. But anyway, so just thinking about that for a second, what's going on where we as a people are willing to invest so much of our money into the stock market, knowing within a few days you could lose $15,000, $20,000, you could lose $5,000. And I'm not saying don't invest, but why don't we put some portion of that money back into investing in small businesses with our own loved ones? I mean, we don't even have to go out the family. I guarantee you 1 in every 6 millennial, I'll just say, and those who are also in their 20s, 1 out of every 6 within your family has tried to start a business or is starting a business. So it makes you wonder, well, why not buy a percentage of a business from your own family instead of putting that into the stock market? Because don't get me wrong, you can put it in the stock market. I'm not saying that you won't make money from that, but what's going on mentally for us where we're willing to lose $15,000 in the stock market and not lose any sleep, lose $20,000 in the stock market and not lose any sleep, but not be willing to give $5,000 to someone in your family who's starting a business, maybe for 1% ownership, before they even start generating revenue? What's $5,000 to you? Is that going to make or break you? Also, on the flip side of that, what about us who contribute $20,000 to $30,000 a year into 401k's, but won't invest $5,000 into ourselves? or into maybe just starting your own business, generating some other income outside of a job, or even if that's not your thing, giving it to somebody else that does, and then you get a percentage, even though you didn't put in the work. From a business standpoint, you didn't do anything, but you have equity in someone else's dream because you believe their dream and support it. Now, don't get me wrong. This video isn't asking, I'm not going to wait until the end of this video and ask you for money for me personally or my business. No, this is not about me or my business. This is just a discussion that I want to have, and I've been having, and really looking at where we are mentally when it comes to investing in our own people and small businesses. Because it really doesn't make sense at this point. I understand in the 80s and at a earlier point, it was about, well, you know, we don't have the money. We don't have the funds in our community. But clearly now, as I'm looking around, especially as I'm dealing with more and more people within the community, helping them with their finances, I can tell you, people have the money. It's about where they have the money. So what's going on? Why are we so willing to lose $15,000 in the stock market and not lose any sleep, but not willing to put $15,000 up towards someone's dream that you also believe in? Because of course, I'm not saying just give $15,000 to anyone. If someone's taking the steps to, you know, register for a business, have a plan, begin operating, well, they got something going, and of course they need funding in the beginning, like all major businesses. If you believe in what they're doing, why not buy a piece for yourself and support them at the same time? It's a win-win. Yeah, it might fail, but again, in a few days, you could lose $10,000 to $15,000 in the stock market and you wouldn't lose any sleep. But here's the bet that you put on somebody else's dream. If you get equity in a business and that business has one good year, you can make way more money than you put in that 1 year, and that doesn't necessarily kill your business off the next year or kill your investment the next year. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think we have a problem? Do you think we actually have the money within the black community, within our community, to invest in each other, but we're putting it in the wrong places because we've been taught to put into 401k's, and we've been taught that we need to set up for our retirement, but we don't realize we can risk 10 to 15,000 of that to help somebody else out and possibly make some money? What do you think? Why do you think this is the case? Tell me, guys, what you think, because I know from my experience, we should be doing better. There's plenty of money out there to invest in small businesses, especially the small businesses that come from our own households and our own families. Should we be doing more, or maybe I'm just tripping? Tell me what you think.